All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is start adding some moisture into the hair. I'm gonna use some Kenra Luxe Shine Oil, Glam waves that really last and hold all day. If the hair lacks moisture, it will get frizzy and will not hold that wave and that curl in the hair as good. So I'm just working that Kenra Luxe Shine Oil through the ends of the hair all over, and it's already adding some really pretty shine into the hair and helping to moisturize. I'm also going to be going in with a little bit of the Moroccan Oil Hydrating Styling Cream. Going to put a couple pumps of that in the hair, and I'm just going to focus this on the ends because I really want to make sure those ends are really hydrated. I'm going to put a little bit on the ends of her front pieces and then just work it down through the rest of the hair and underneath. Once that is all in, I'm going to go ahead and just brush it through the hair. Once I've got that brushed through, I'm going to section the hair, and we're going to take this front hair and separate it forward so we can just start working on the back section. I'm going to take about 2 inches of the bottom, from the bottom, about a 2-inch section. I'm gonna just comb through this. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of Osis Tame Wild Cream. This is just gonna help with frizz and help with adding moisture into the hair, because again, adding moisture into the hair is gonna be key for creating really glossy, shiny glam waves that last all day. Before I go in and start curling, if their hair is really frizzy near the root area, sometimes additional smoothing is needed. So a good blowout or blow dryer would help to smooth out additional frizz if someone needs it. And sometimes I like to put mousse in the hair before blow drying, and that will help with holds and adding moisture into the hair as well. I'm gonna go in with some Kenra Hot Spray 20 hairspray. This is gonna help to protect the hair from the heat, but it also helps to hold the glam waves. I'm going to brush that through, make sure it's nice and dry before I go in and curl it. I'm going to go in on top of that and layer in a layer of Moroccan Oil hairspray. This is the luminous hairspray with medium hold all the way from roots to ends. Going to comb that down, and as we're layering these products into, it's helping to lay down that frizz, it's prepping the hair with moisture, and it's prepping the hair to hold. We're gonna work in sections that the heat can penetrate all the way through. If the top part does need a little bit of smoothing, sometimes I'll just run the iron on the top and on the bottom to help smooth that frizz and just give it shine. And then we're gonna do a twist wrap. So I'm going to be twist wrapping everything in the same direction. So it's all going to be getting curled from left to right, the whole entire head of hair. This is going to ensure that we get those cohesive waves that all start going together. And the key to getting glam waves to stay is really how long you hold the curling iron on. You really want to make sure the heat evenly comes through, penetrates all the way through the hair, and really heats up that hair. Once it's been on there, I like to hold it and let it cool off in my hand for a second before releasing it, because this is also going to help it hold. You can even pin these up if you have someone's hair who really does not hold curl that well, and for more longevity, if you pin up the curls, it will definitely help it to last longer. And then we're just going to leave it. I'm gonna go grab my next section, and I'm gonna make sure that the curl starts in the same place that the previous one did. That way we get those cohesive waves. And then I'm leaving a little bit at the ends. I'm not curling the ends all the way around. I'm leaving just about an inch on the ends. And again, we're just gonna hold it there. We wanna make sure the heat penetrates all the way through, and I'm gonna do the same curl pattern all the way across. Once we finish that first section, I'm gonna take my next section down, and this one's gonna be about 2 inches as well. Really, you just wanna take manageable size sections, again, where the heat can penetrate all the way through. That is really the key there. Once I have my section down, we're gonna start layering more products in the hair. I'm gonna take a little bit of my Osis Tame Wild Cream and just run a little bit through mostly the mid shaft to ends, just to smooth that frizz down and add in more moisture. Gonna just take that top layer and just gently comb it through. We're not combing through those bottom curls, and we're just letting all of these curls cool and set while we curl the whole entire head. We're not gonna brush them out until the end. Taking more Kenra Hot Spray 20 and just spraying it all over, and I'm getting a good even amount all over from roots to ends. And then I'm gonna comb that through, and as I comb it through, it helps it to dry into the hair. And it's adding shine, and it's going to protect it from the heat. Once we start curling, I'm gonna take another layer of Moroccan Oil Luminous Hairspray and just spray it from roots to ends. Comb it through one more time, and then we're gonna continue to curl in the same direction as the bottom. And a lot of times I like to take skinny, more vertical sections when curling glam waves. And again, we're gonna start that glam wave curl pattern about the same as what we did in the previous. I'm starting about 5 inches down. You can see where the curl or the bend starts, keeping about 1 inch off of the ends. And the key is just to hold it there to make sure the heat really gets through the whole curl. And then also letting it cool in your hand or pinning it up after is going to really help the longevity of your glam wave hairstyle. And we're just letting it fall. I'm gonna do one more, and again, I am twist wrapping. So every time we come around the barrel, we twist the hair, and we twist, and we're turning, and every time we come around. And this is a really easy way to get a beautiful glam wave. There are many different ways that you can achieve glam waves. This isn't the only way I do it, but this is one of the ways I do it, and it's a very quick and efficient way to create a glam wave hairstyle. To finish curling this, I'm gonna spray a light layer of this Osis Volume Up Hairspray. This hairspray adds so much shine to your hairstyles. It is so pretty, like the shine that it gives. I love using this hairspray, especially for glam waves, just because it adds the most beautiful shine. I'm gonna take another 2-inch section, and I'm gonna continue working up the head, curling everything this way. I'm gonna be doing the same product layer in the hair, and then doing the twist wrap and continue to curl it. And we're still leaving everything, we're not brushing anything out yet. Once I start getting to the top section, I like to go ahead and tease the hair first. So I'm gonna just put this hair, lay it down gently, and I'm going to section back a little bit more hair if I need to get this crown area nice and voluminous. So I'm gonna bring this back. I'm gonna go ahead and section it, and I'm gonna take some of my volumizing powder. I'm gonna use the Sexy Hair Powder Play Light. Just pump it in at the roots and tease it. I'm gonna just lay it gently and take another section underneath that. And I'm gonna pump a little bit more powder. And I like to tease it about 12 to 13 times at the root to make sure that tease is nice and locked in. Anything less than that usually will just fall out, or it's just not gonna hold. I'm gonna pump a little bit more powder. And once I complete that section, I'm gonna just take the rest of this hair down and lightly comb through it. You can take your comb and just lightly comb over this tease to make sure it's nice and smooth at the top. I'm going to take a little bit more of the Moroccan Oil Hydrating Styling Cream and just run it through the hair, make sure all the frizz is down, add in that moisture. Take that comb just to make sure all the frizzy pieces are down from the crown area. And then spray in a little bit more of the Hot Spray 20. Really get those ends good. Gonna comb that through. And then layer hairspray on top like we have been with all the other layers, and continue curling this way using the twist wrap. When we got the back finished, we're going to move on to the front side. This is the less heavy side, and I'm just going to take another section, and we're going to continue to do the same thing, layering the same products in the hair, and then this curl is going to continue and come forward. So it's still going in the same direction. I'm taking a little bit of the hydrating styling cream and just working it into the hair. And then spraying a little bit of the Hot Spray 20 and combing that through. And then a layer of hairspray. I'm going to make sure I get these front pieces, since they're a little shorter, that way they don't try to get frizzy on me. We've got the other side finished. Now we're going to be working on the heavier side. So we're just going to start by taking our section at the bottom and prepping the hair with the same products and making sure the curl comes back away from the face on this side. And then once I get to the top, I'll show you how I tease it and get the volume in it. Now we've got just our little front section left, so what I like to do is start sectioning it here in the front. I'm gonna grab a little bit of my texture powder and I'm just going to pump it right at the root area and start teasing it right there in the front. I'm gonna take my next section back and I'm working at a diagonal. So it's a slight diagonal to get that very front, and then turn so you guys can see. Gonna pump a little bit more powder back there and tease it right at the base. And then we're going to take one more section back behind that, pump my texture powder, tease that, and then we're going to just lightly comb just the front of this, just to work out the frizz. And I'm going to just hold that right there so we're not brushing it out, and just lightly comb it. And I'll even switch and start using my fork comb, this one right here. And I'm just going to lightly smooth out that frizz. I'm gonna spray a little bit of hairspray right in that front area. And then I'm going to just gather all of that section and layer in my products and just finish curling this front piece. We need a little bit more volume in this back section behind that very front, so I'm gonna just lift this up and comb through that curl and just tease it a little bit. Pop a little bit of powder in there. Perfect. And then we'll just lightly comb over that. And now we are ready to start combing out the curls. I like to use my wide tooth comb, and I'll just start at the bottom and start working my way up. And if you've held the heat on the curls long enough, you don't have to worry about the wave in the curl coming out. This is the part where you really have to, you comb a lot and they will eventually start laying together. I think the mistake that a lot of people make is not combing enough. Because if you don't comb enough, it doesn't give the hair a chance for all the waves to start forming in unison. So make sure you brush the hair enough. I'm going to hold this front piece, this front section, so we hold the volume in it, because I don't want to pull that volume out. But I just want to start working these waves together. And you can see how they just start to very easily just melt together, start forming that wave. And this part honestly takes a good amount of time. This part should not be rushed. You really want to spend time working those waves together, and then we're going to be working a little bit more product into the hair because there is some frizz coming through. So I'm going to take a little bit more of that hydrating styling cream, just really work it in my hands and just very gently go through the hair and sort of lay that product on top. And it's just going to continue to add shine and lay that frizz down. That way we can continue to comb through the hair and it'll just lay down really nicely. The Osis Volume Up Hairspray. This hairspray just adds so much shine. And now I'm going to be working through to lay everything down. I'm going to go ahead and bring this front section up because this is going to lay in the front and everything else stays back here. So we'll work on perfecting this front. Alright, so I'm gonna just come through and work on laying all of this frizz down. This is going to add shine into the hair. And then you can even place, I like to place the hairspray can and kind of roll it. Helps to lay the frizz down, but also helps to give that more definition to the wave pattern. I don't know how much you can tell on camera, but it just really helps to define that more. And then I'm going to come down here, I'm going to hold this and really start defining this ridge. Just make sure you hold the previous one so it keeps that one together. And then again, we can just go in here. And then we're going to work on this bottom section. And you can just see how everything comes together. The more you manipulate it, the more you work with it, really starts to form that perfect wave pattern. Now we're going to work on finishing up the front. So I just like to make sure that all of this frizz is laying down. I'm going to spray a little bit more Osis Tame Wild up here. Just kind of use my hands to lay any frizz down. I'm going to spray a light layer up there, and then I'm going to use my fork comb to just smooth this down. We're going to work on just combing this front part through a little bit more. I'm going to use a little bit more of the hydrating styling cream just to control some of this frizz up here. And we're just going to comb this through a little bit more and get all of these curls flowing together. All right, so I'm going to spray that. We're just really manipulating and taking our time working with it. It does take time to work all of these out. And we're going to pin this section back. So what I like to do is just take my comb and smooth out the edge. Use my comb to guide the hair behind the ear. And once I've got it, I'm going to take a little bit of hairspray to make sure this is very sleek, shiny, and smooth. In this whole section, I just like to spray lay down, and then take my comb again, really make sure it's nice and polished, and then take that tail comb and just smooth that hair behind the ear. And then I'm going to take a bobby pin and just come behind the ear and put it in place. A lot of times they'll have a hair piece that they want to wear right here. If not, the way I place the bobby pin is very hidden, so you don't see that. And then I just like to finish combing this front out right here. And then finish it off with a little bit of spray. And these are the completed Glam waves.